Drinking water? Are you getting too hot? I need to put this fan on you? Huh? Is that better? You and Vinny? You seem taxed. Yeah? It's that ice cream, Mom. You had ice cream. You hadn't had ice cream in a couple of days. I didn't give you that much. It's ice cream in the heat. That's not a combination for you. You need to do maybe sherbet. Not milk. Get something cold, but not milk heavy like that. So I'll look into some sherbet if you want cold. Like, or even if I got like fruit juice bars, that you'd still get the coldness. We'll figure something out, Mom. We always do. Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Heoka Path. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. Today's kind of a interesting day. I really try not to have expectations in life. I really, it's something I earnestly put life force in. Is to not have expectations. I guess that's kind of an expectation of and by itself, isn't it? Anyway, so I try not to have them. And so, like, instances happen, right? Instances come up. Like, a couple weeks ago, I was asked to call by the representative trying to get my rating adjusted in the VA system, my disability rating. And it's a pain in the ass, man, because they got to pay this person, that person. It's just, oh my God, it's a drag. And this is the third state I've done it in. And so I called 2 weeks ago, and I was like, well, can I set up the appointment for here in Taos where I live instead of having to drive 2 hours in Albuquerque? Because it just seems like, there's it's just also, and Albuquerque's 2 hours away, and it's a long time, but it's just like mom care, stuff like that. Anyway, so 2 weeks ago I called to get this stuff ball rolling, nothing back. So I said, all right, last night I made the decision I was going to call as soon as I could this morning. Called this morning, my name is Marge, blah, blah, say the spiel. I said, this is my second phone call. I called 2 weeks ago. I've heard nothing back from this office. And I did not sound happy. And so I got a call back from a nice guy. Pretty well spoken. Helpful. He said, I'm going to set up care there in Taos. You'll be getting a call. I'm going to set it up so you'll be getting a call from them. And then we'll start you off there and then head this way. And I was just like, see, it's all about timing. It's all about time. I could have talked to somebody 2 weeks ago and they could have set it up the opposite way. My whole life I've relied on divine timing. I just get impatient about it. But I know I rely on it. I count on it. I believe in it. That all things happen when they're supposed to, and all that stuff, that we're right where we're supposed to be when we're supposed to, all that stuff. I believe in all that stuff. And so that was a cool way to start the day. And then, Mom, I went, because I get up pretty early. I did get to sleep in, oddly, to this morning. I probably slept until like 6 is when I first started cracking my eyes. And then Mom's been getting up earlier too. And did the morning routine thing. And then I go down and like kind of reset after dogs eat. Or if I have chores to do, I have to go to the grocery store. That's when I go earlier. Stuff like that. And I went and laid down. About 8:30, Mom comes strolling back. She's like, can we go to the park today? I said, absolutely, Mom, because we went to the park yesterday. We've been going to the park a lot. She just loves sitting in her... She just sits in her chair. People are having conversations. She's having conversations. We're having conversations. She's enjoying the breeze, being out in the fresh air. We went earlier today, and I wasn't going to stay as long, but we left it probably... It was after... I ordered some lunch for us. And she ate a big old salad with a lot of roughage. And Mom, I think it was the salad and the roughage, maybe. From lunch, and then you had chicken. And then... Oh, it's the ice cream on that. Yeah. You want a piece of bread? Just bread? Just a little piece? Just a bite or two to kind of sop up that sugary vanilla ice. What? Don't get up. Here, just need a couple bites of that. Is that blowing on you too much? That fan? Are you getting cold? Vinny, no. All right, so went to the park. We ate a couple bites. That's cool. Enjoyed some fellowship for a couple hours, and then it started to get where it's gonna start getting warm, and I don't like it when she's in the sun. So we took our lunch that I ordered and headed home. Hey, Gray Kitty, you coming down? Baby, you're so cute. I think your baby is in the bathroom. One of your babies, just one. Anyway, so yesterday I planned on going to this event that they were having here in Taos at the country club, which that oven by itself is enough to, okay, but see, at least I try. That's the thing, is I've been looking for my people, whoever they may be, my whole freaking entire life. And so I go here, I go there, I go here, stuff comes across, oh, I'll try this, I'll try that. A lot of times I gotta feel, but it doesn't really bother me to go to places like, go to places by myself, because growing up, we moved around so much, I was always it doesn't bother me. I'll probably, unless I see these people down the street, we don't hang out in the same circles. They probably not, they don't want to know me. So, I was planning on going to this event that the LOR this LOR thing. I have the flyer right here. I took a screenshot of it. Investing in Innovation, New Mexico Angels Networking Event. And it was online. I don't know what was online. I don't know how it could have been. I thought there was going to be in presentation stuff like that. It was nothing like that. But, New Mexico Angels is the only New Mexico-based group of individuals accredited angel investors focused on Southwest and cultivating an active investment ecosystem. Celebrate education. It's just like, so... I wanted to see what it was like. Now, because I can't even say I'm an entrepreneur because I don't make any money doing anything. But I'm more of a storyteller, but I have a lot of ideas. Because it was like hearing myself talk when people are like, what do you do? Like, well, I was trained by the United States Air Force to be a mechanic. And then I went to college and transitioned to IT. Yeah, I've done this and this and that, you know, so I'm a jack of all tirades. It's pretty cool. So it's like, I'm going to use that. I'm like, go ahead. I got a million of them. Stick around. Anyway, they had like the buffet, you know. It's at a country club. I tried the little, I don't know. I ate some of the fruit. Fruit doesn't have flavor in it like it used to. I didn't do lamb balls, meatballs. I don't like lamb. As that game eats flavor. People always say, "Oh, I can cook it without that flavor," and then is that it's like they get ya. Nope, won't even taste it. Nope, won't even try it anymore. Don't like it in my mouth. That is a gross flavor. So don't participate in that. And then I sat at this table in the front because they had a like a TV screen with the logo on it, and they had a laptop set up, and I was watching them because, you know, that's what I do. I'm all things technology, and I thought they were gonna do a presentation. They did nothing. It was a schmoozing event. They gave away drink tickets. They gave you one drink to get you started off with. I gave mine back. I was gonna give it away to somebody, but. And then I couldn't find anybody that was like, would look me in the eye, like, you know, like I'm going around the room, like, hey, how's it going? You know, that's what I learned how to do in freaking AA is always greet people and stuff like that. And people don't do that to me back. So I got my little snacks and went and sat on the front table, and I thought some sort of presentation was going to start. And then this nice lady, Dorothy, sat next to me, and we started having a conversation. She had a Radio Shack. I used to love Radio Shack. I was like, oh, all that stuff. I just building things, fixing things. I told her I've been a fixer my whole life, and so that was really cool. And I told her I ran a student service desk at Creighton University in Omaha, and she was like, that's a big deal. And then this other woman came and sat next to me. Kind of remind me of somebody that would have been on Mama's Family. Just a nice, mousy little lady. Just kind of meek, kind of quiet. You know, I don't know if she was ready for all of me. And then Scott, a guy named Scott, he has something to do with a nursery business. And I always like to teach people something when I meet them. And so I got to educate him on Luther Burbank and what Luther Burbank contributed and how he created the first thornless variety rose by just telling the rose after about a year that it was safe and that it didn't need thorns to protect itself, that he would provide it nourishment and you know, it'd be all right. And that's how that happened. So, and he's also responsible for creating some upwards of, like, I think it was like 300. It's been a long time since I read about him. A lot of new varieties and plants. That's why I'm like, why isn't there this strawberry banana? Like, you know, why aren't these more of this fun stuff exists? Because the controllers are in charge. So anyway, and then there's this other old broad across the table. She came and sat down, and she was, I don't know, so, and then there was a younger couple, and he was like the cushion incentive or something like that. I don't know if he has like a dispensary. I didn't really get the story. They were kind of quiet, and he and his companion, he and her, that couple, because people walk up to the table, I'm just like, have a seat, sit on down, you know. I'm like, it's just nice to be around people. And this lady, I guess, worked at the health department. This lady worked at in the city or at the health department like 30 years. And I didn't know that, right? So I started talking about my sign that I have downtown, you know, because they weren't around for when I talked about what I did. And they all knew each other because this town is so small. You know, I think there's less than 6,000 people in the whole city. And there's more in the outlying areas, but still, you know. it's like, you know, they want everything to always stay the same. So it's like living in the 90s. It's really kind of weird how you don't want to even progress a little bit. I mean, it's just all about the controllers, but they're all dying off, so we'll change things ultimately. And if it ain't in my lifetime, I'm hoping the words I say and put out there are freaking helping somebody, some out there to freaking learn it's okay. You can speak up for yourself. Yeah, you can always speak up for yourself. It took me almost my whole entire life to figure out I could stick up for myself, and once I started, I ain't never stopped. And it's okay to stick up for yourself. So, I talked about my sign. When has the government ever said anything true? And the old lady across the way, she was like, well, that's a bunch of bullshit. And then the lady next to me, and she's like, I worked at the city for health. I worked at the city for 25 or whatever, and then whatever government office, you know. And then she's worked for the health department for 30 years. And 30 years, I was like, okay. Oh, all right, I get it. I struck a chord. So I was like, okay. And then the woman comes back with, because she was like, that's a bunch of bull, you know, and I was like, and then she follows it with, there's the science. And I said, yeah. I said, the thing of it is scientists, they're employees. And employees, they want to make their bosses happy. So they're going to make their bosses happy, and they're going to tell bosses what they want to hear to keep their bosses happy. And they're like, but there's the data. I said again, data is just, as an IT professional, one of the things that I come to find out early in my career is that data is as easy to manipulate as people are. And then I smile real bad. All the way, I'm just boom, boom, truth bomb, truth bomb, truth bomb. And then smiling real big. And this lady's like fuming. But, I mean, you can't dispute it. Because human nature breaks the algorithm. The human spirit always wins. And that's what memes are about. People don't even understand what memes are about. Memes are great because memes are a threat to AI. They don't help. I mean, they can, but if people you can break the algorithm. There's lots of ways to break the algorithm. People just don't do it. You know, you can break the algorithm by just spelling, you know, making up your own jargon and like spelling things alphanumerically that it can't catch, and you know, coming up with your own terminology. People will pick it up. They know what you're talking about, you know. Breaking the algorithm. I'm always doing stuff in settings and things like that, changing and stuff, trying this out, trying that out, and I have one of the ways I break the algorithm is I hate name and titling these videos, so all purposefully, inadvertently, that's kind of a, no, that's not inadvertently, because it's purposefully. I can't be inadvertently purposeful. Marge, you're trying too hard. So, I've made playlists by creating calling the same, or different videos, same titles of videos that I've done before. So if every now and again I'll be like, ooh, people should go watch this video called this, and then there's like, I got 4 videos with titled the same thing. And then I wonder how congruent they are, because, you know, my astrology and stuff like that. Because I mean, I don't know. I always lose people during hard aspects. There's a lot of people having hard aspects right now. So many hard aspects in the world right now. People are freaking going crazy, man. There's meltdowns everywhere. I've been pretty okay. How are you, Ma? Are you okay? Mom just got an upset belly just real quick all of a sudden. She's been fine. I mean, she had fun at the park. It's that stupid ice cream, I think. She hasn't even been eating any. That's probably why, Marge. So, We're supposed to go down to John Dunn Bridge tomorrow. Early. We'll go early like we did today at like 9:30. Because that's a drive. That's like a, I don't know, half-hour drive. From start to finish, maybe it's longer than that. But we're ready for it. And I'll make sure that she has enough water. And she wears a hat, and I got a light shirt that she wears, and she's always in the shade because she has that umbrella. And then there's tree. It's real nice up there at John Dunn Bridge. I want to have people start come visit, and then I'll show you around northern New Mexico, hang out, and show you some places. And it's nice, quiet. It's just a sleepy place, you know. Then you have the people that are in charge, and they've all. It's just they just need to relinquish control at this point. I think the freaking whole nation is ready for a mass turnover. So, yeah. Wouldn't it be great if it could be done as peaceably as possible? But people got to use that amendment number 2, so I don't think it's going to work out that way. But I'm hoping for it. A nice, smooth transition. Anyway, so after, and then I was explaining, was that as far as would I finish that story with the ladies? They got all, yeah, they're, after it was, data is easy to manipulate as people. Stats too, man. Stats too. People are like, swear by things. And this is just all how I understand it. I think Sam Geppy did a pretty good job in a talk he did yesterday. You know, it's just, you know, nothing's really true because it's all about based on how the individual really perceives it. And it's all, you know, there's it just goes on and on. The multi-universe possible way of and that's what I said when the woman said, well, I worked at the county for 25 years and then she's worked at the city health department or whatever for 3. I was like, oh, well, there's a lot of outdated ideologies right there, I'm sure. And that's when I got up and I excused myself. I'm just like, you know, that way of thinking don't do us any good in 2020. You know, that way of thinking is what got us to 2020. I mean, really, what? And I was thinking about this today because I went to college, started Bellevue University in Bellevue, Nebraska. It's basically somebody established it, put it there so all the military people could go to school there for their degrees, mostly. And so I went there. It was just easy. It's convenient out the back gate, you know. So I went there for my Bachelor of Science degree in Business Information Systems, and we talked a lot about. I mean, we were talking about AI and robotics and things like that. And this is the things I've thought about my whole entire life. And, you know, knowing that there's software that could take, you know, if somebody really wanted to, they could take all the video that I've ever made. I made over 1,800 video and make videos that, like, could really make me look like a really whatever they wanted to make me look like. I mean, that technology, I mean, the way that people can edit software and stuff like that. See, the thing of it is people do this stuff every day, all the time. Everything's phony, everything's fake. I just can't conceive that people would go through that much effort to be deceptive because I'm not a deceptive person. I'm an open... of course there's stuff I keep private. Absolutely everybody does. That's weird to put everything out there. I put most of my stuff out here because I'm an open person. Because I'm a spiritual being having a human experience, I make mistakes, and I want to let everyone know that by any means, you know, I want people to know. And the more you know, get old. If you get a chance to live in this life, the older you get, the more you find out, the less you know. It's a trip. It is definitely a trip. Like, I am dumbfounded every day. And that's kind of why life is kind of cool, too, you know. So, because I'm dumbfounded every day. I'm always surprised. I'm always just amazed. My whole life I've been studying human nature. And the nature of humans. Men, women, and I've always seen the energy side, the like how women have more masculine energy and how these men have more feminine energy. And, sometimes the dads are better to stay at home and with the kids because they're more loving and nurturing than the mom. And the mom is, better suited to go out in the shrewd, hard world and make the money. And it's just, people don't, it's just kind of how it is. I've always seen that in people. I've always seen, and looking in the narration of people's lives and how they treated them, I always saw the underlying story, how they really felt about each other. Life's been a trip for me because I always thought other people were like this too, and they are just not. They are not. So by the time I left, I was there about an hour. And then I just went and bust my table and bust my glass and looked around the room. Anybody I like to introduce myself to? Nope. I was telling the lady today, I said I put myself on purpose in all of these, from the military to corporate USA to academia, working in a hospital. I've done all these things just so I could be around the people that work there, so I could get an idea of what, these people's human nature is like in all these different areas. And one thing I've noticed is that it's the common denominator is either people grow closer to spirit or they grow more in ego. And as long as money's involved, I don't care how frugal people are, you're still growing in ego if you're hoarding all your money and not helping people with that shit. It ain't that world anymore, I'm really ready to start freaking earning income just so I could show people how easy it is to freaking give that shit away, how insignificant money is and how weird it is to see. Especially in this day and age when life is, we're being shown all the time how fragile life is. Life is constantly fragile. It's fragile every day. We're seeing example after example. Life is fragile. Life is fragile. It's always in our face, But people interpret that as fear-based stuff. And they're not living in gratitude. And they're just living in fear, so that we got a freaking consumption is just out of control. And, what people deserve and, the stuff that they buy themselves because of what they... And all that ego stuff is just, like, coming to a culmination point. And there's going to be a snapback, that's for sure. Anyway. It's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad night. Peace.